Hi guys, welcome to the Sports Doyen Live, the Cricket Daily Live. We're back again on this God forbidden Monday. No cricketing action, not much to discuss definitely, but of what we've noticed from yesterday, there's definitely one cricketer making all the headlines. Talk about making headlines. We have another headline comeback with Rohan making a comeback after quite a while. Hey man, how are you?
Good, all good.
काफी पॉजिटिविटी
Oh,
जैसे रोहन आ गया ना पॉजिटिविटी आ गई शो में.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल.
yeah, you could say so. Uh, आई मीन रोहन आपसे भी बात करेंगे बिकॉज आपसे तो बहुत कुछ है बात करने को, आप बहुत दिनों से दिखे नहीं. तो currently there is just one name that is like taking rounds across media, at least in the cricketing point. Obviously there is Jasprit Bumrah who got congratulations to the man, but let's not
Yeah.
get too much into it. Just a more normal congratulations, and let's get on with our life because we are in here to talk cricket. There's one man who's been taking all headlines majorly, and that is Ishan Kishan. I mean, what a fantastic debut, Rohan. कल तो मतलब छक्के छोड़ दिए कल, and it never seemed like he was away from it. It's the first time he was playing. I mean, I know Murli Kartik asked him the same thing. Is it really your first match? He meant it in a good sense, but Ishan Kishan answered it quite desperately. Obviously, it is my first match. I mean, I love what Rishabh Pant and Ishan Kishan represent in the sense they have this innocent look on their face, but they're quite the slaughterers once they're on the field.
Yeah.
Your take on Ishan Kishan and yesterday's performance.
ईशान किशन आई थिंक हम लोग बार-बार यही बात करते हैं कि आईपीएल का क्या फ़ायदा रहता है इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट में इन प्लेयर्स के लिए। बिकॉज़ इतने
Yeah.
कॉम्पिटिटिव क्रिकेट में इतने बड़े क्राउड के सामने ये प्लेयर्स ऑलरेडी खेल चुके हैं। सो जब 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 ये
Yes.
लोग इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे जाते हैं, सो लाइक वो लोग हिल नहीं जाते एकदम से सिचुएशन को देखकर। एंड आई थिंक वही एडवांटेज जो इतने बार प्लेयर्स को मिला है, जैसे जसप्रीत बुमराह, हार्दिक पांड्या, मुंबई इंडियंस की टैलेंट एकेडमी से एक और बड़ा नाम सामने आ गया है एंड आई थिंक ही इज हियर टू स्टे। लंबा करियर होगा होपफुली एंड आई जस्ट होप कि जो एनवायरनमेंट प्रोवाइड किया गया है ईशान किशन को कि आप एक्चुअली अपना गेम खेल सकते हो यहाँ पे, डोंट वरी अबाउट योर प्लेस इन द टीम। आई थिंक वो ऋषभ पंत के की वजह से वो थोड़ा-सा और कॉन्फिडेंस आता है कि ऋषभ पंत
Yeah.
का जो पर काम आ रहा है। सो आई थिंक ईशान किशन ने वो भी देखा होगा कि कैसे ऋषभ पंत को सपोर्ट किया गया है क्योंकि उनको वो एक्स फैक्टर प्लेयर
Right.
है। सो आई थिंक वही चीज़ वो यूज़ करे तो ही कुड बी like a different X factor for the Indian team at top of the order and something we need in T20 cricket.
रोहन एक ही टीम से आते हैं ना दोनों, ऋषभ पंत और ईशान किशन. आयरॉनिकली ईशान किशन वाज द कैप्टन ऑफ द टीम दैट ऋषभ
हाँ,
पंत वाज इन द अंडर 19 वर्ल्ड कप. और काफी दोनों का करियर ग्राफ थोड़ा, मतलब इट हैज कम टू द सेम स्टेज नाउ. बट जिस हिसाब से ऋषभ पंत आए, जब whenever he came to the circuit, we obviously saw that there was more maturity in Rishabh Pant at that point of time. Obviously, the way he bats and the position he bats also helped him. Whereas Ishan Kishan was probably the opening batsman, and Tabhi to Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan were irreplaceable in even anybody's dream, right? So from there, I think Rishabh Pant has obviously had a meteoric rise, and we have also seen how Ishan Kishan was with the Gujarat Lions, if I'm not wrong. I think
yeah, he was.
that's where he really took off, and then he came to the Mumbai Indians. We saw that one season where he had a little dip, where he obviously had a lot of help from Mahela and the rest of the star cast there. And then in the last 2 years, we're seeing the rise of Ishan Kishan, uh, not just for Mumbai Indians, but also the way he's been playing for Jharkhand over all of this while, the A teams and stuff like that. So, Kafi, I mean, there is a reason why he has these headlines, because I think we all expected him to do well. He's been there in situations, as Rohan, you said rightly, that in IPL you face these situations a lot of times. I think the match for me that defined Ishan Kishan was the semi final of 2019 in Chennai. Lucky enough to witness that live, and that was probably the day that made Ishan Kishan what he is today. And what he was yesterday was just a notch higher. He just took the pressure of the entire team after KL Rahul got out and allowed Virat Kohli to settle in and allowed himself to, get into the groove. And, what transpired after that was just a standing ovation that he received at the end of the innings says everything.
Also, Prathamesh,
Yeah,
just to
indeed.
add, I think जो पंत वाली बात कही, I read a tweet, I think विक्रांत गुप्ता सर ने किया था कि ऋषभ पंत और ईशान किशन दोनों को टॉप फ्लोर पर आना था, लेकिन ऋषभ पंत ने एलिवेटर ले लिया, लेकिन और ईशान किशन ने स्टेयर्स का यूज किया, बट इवेंचुअली बोथ ऑफ देम आर देयर नाउ एट द टॉप. So I think
Yep.
it just sums up the journey of both the players. It's different journey, but at the end of the day, both are representing their country, and nothing gets better than that.
Yeah.
Indeed, that was quite well put from Vikrant, to be honest. And also, we have Nathan back. I think he's working and is also joining the live. Hi, Nathan. I hope you can listen to me.
Yeah, well, I can hear
Yep. He
I
seems quite
I love
studious
I
today.
love how Nathan's
But
how
yes,
Nathan's change of life is, right. Like whenever England do well, no matter what Nathan is doing, he's always very happy about things. And to be fair to him, he's always very happy regardless. But you just know that subtle change of voice in Nathan when England wins and England loses, or also dependent on Preston as well. But I can literally sense Nathan is being he's very depressed about sports right now, but he's still the amazing person that he is, and he's come on the live.
Yeah, my rugby team lost as well on the
I mean,
weekend.
Not a
That's
bad,
it.
not a good
all
weekend.
right.
It's got a bit of a habit, this.
Indeed, I mean, even in our many conversations previously, Nathan said like cricket is sort of his uh, bailout kind of thing from his daily work and routines, and I think it is the same for all of us, and that's where we all connect definitely. Yeah, Nathan, you want to say something?
No, I had nothing to add apart from I'm hoping to be in a better mood tomorrow night.
Yeah. I think at least what this and what this means is at least the Atul prediction which he said is going to be 4-1, that is still in cards, which still can happen, which is something I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah,
It can go either way, but
yeah.
I'm hoping
Yes.
you all know who I'm rooting for. But
Yeah,
nevertheless, I think that is one news, Prathamesh, and the other one was the Indian team got fined for slow over rate yesterday, which was
yeah.
I mean, not surprising. Obviously, they were a bit slow. Uh,
Very slow.
I
Yeah,
didn't know. Like maybe Javagal Srinas, apparently match referee, he reprimanded. I mean, summoned up Virat Kohli and reprimanded him, and Virat Kohli apparently instantly accepted the punishment, and that's why it was just a minimal 20% match fee. What
yeah.
do you call it?
How much slower was he?
Punishment as
Were
such.
you?
Yeah, I am not very sure, but I don't think it was very because I don't.
I think
I think a
Anurag,
lot of people were caught by
it took
surprise when
around
they heard this news
110
because
minutes. Yeah,
yeah, I think
I
maybe
guess
30
I'm not
minutes
One over
here
late.
and there.
I think we were just one over late.
Actually.
one over late. Yeah,
Yes.
Basically, Nathan, how we have it in matches, like for example, in India at least, a day is supposed to be completed by 4:30 p.m. And there is an extension given to the teams until 5 o'clock. And if even after the 5 o'clock the 90 overs are not done, that's when overrate fines come in. So I think there is
yeah,
something like a 10-minute such kind of a period. What do you call it? There is some term which we call in corporate employment terms. I can't really remember, but there is a 10-minute period which
waiting period.
uh,
Yeah,
something like that.
probation period,
Uh,
something of that sort. So
Probation sort of a thing. Yeah, the 10-minute period that they
But
get.
Anurag,
If I mean, just sort of an extension. Yeah,
yeah, I was in. Isn't that surprising that India playing with five spinners and they couldn't complete the overs on time?
yeah.
Be-
God knows, man.
Because
I think it means because we had bowlers bowling cutters, right? We had lots of
All
bowlers bowling
right, all
cutters
right.
yesterday.
yeah,
Anurag, I just want to take this comment because I
yeah.
have been waiting for this since yesterday. Ahil is finally here and he says, क्या बोले थे ईशान को ओपन करवा देना. I mean, just look at the
Yeah,
happiness
we're
of
getting
Ahil
to the
today.
comments. Yeah, definitely. We are getting to the comments now. here is a stat for you in T20s since Jan 2019. UZ averages 41 with an economy of 9.2. Okay, that is definitely not good. Chahal starts in
Yeah.
T20. Acha, that is the same thing. Hey, buffering. Yes, we've had some internet issues and we've perpetually had that. I don't think it's going to change until we become a rich as media house, which can only happen if you keep supporting us a little more. Uh, According to Crickbus, Krunal and Prasid Krishna likely to get a call into the ODI team. Okay, that should be interesting.
Interesting.
Jason Roy
Yeah.
in the UK media, Ishan Kishan is a star player and he's done that for Mumbai Indians several times. So I wasn't surprised by the way he played. Uh, now, obviously, I think even as Indian fans, I don't think a lot of people were surprised, but it was just the only.
Yeah.
If there was a surprise element to it, it was just how fearless and ruthless and how comfortable he was at the international stage. And I mean, he was playing in front of 60,000 crowd. I mean, even in IPL, it doesn't happen that much, that
No, it
often.
doesn't.
So
I
India
always
have been
find
fined
it funny
20%
when
something.
they
Yes,
ask.
Masan?
I was just gonna say, I
Yeah.
always find it funny when they ask the opposition, like, is Jason Roy's not going to go? Nah, he's lucky. He's actually a load of rubbish. So I don't really get the point of asking the question. You know
Obviously,
my
I mean,
angle on that
this is
one.
where we miss the likes of Jeffrey boycotts. Yeah, this is where we miss the likes of Jeffrey boycotts and all of them, where even if you're asking them such a kind of a question, you can expect some kind of a cheeky reply. But definitely, I think
Yeah.
uh, most cricketers are quite nice people these days. There isn't much spice you're gonna get. At least I think they're very well instructed in that regard from their cricket boards. Just
Yeah.
do not give too much spice to the media, especially in the press conferences. I don't think Ashwin really listens to it that much. Besides him, I don't think anyone really has the banter material inside them. अनुराग इंटरनेट इश्यूज लग रहा है हाँ भाई बहुत है इधर क्या ही करें Ishan will blast again tomorrow hopefully Pavan thank you so much for joining Crickbuzz has mentioned that India is going to announce 18-member squad for ODI series that is going to be fantastic we won't be surprised Surya Kumar Yadav या ईशान में से कोई एक को कैप्टन बना दे टू न्यू फ्रेंचाइजेस में से कोई गिवन सब यंग कैप्टन्स बन रहे हैं संजू केकेआर में गिल द वाइस कैप्टन so I think just to add on to this to people who might not have heard about this I think in a month or so we're gonna listen to an official confirmation about two more teams joining and I think I can bet a kidney on this. It's gonna be Gujarat for sure because if it's not
Yeah.
Gujarat, I think it's gonna be absolutely stupid. Because you have
Yeah.
to make that stadium coming for picture a lot more. That's a huge ass stadium, and you're going to generate plenty of revenue if you keep it in picture. So I think one is going to be Gujarat. The other,
Yeah.
I think people have been lined up now as a franchise. I think that should be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucknow.
Yes.
Lucknow.
Lucknow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was quite unfair for on part of UP to not get a franchise in the first place. Because
Yeah.
it has a decent enough cricketing history and it is the most populated state in this country. And I mean, in that sense,
Bhuvneshwar captain. Bhuvneshwar captain.
Anurag won't let Bhuvneshwar
exactly.
go for sure. But
No, no, no,
yeah,
no.
I think I think
Yeah.
I think the comments right, like Anurag, because Mumbai Indians can only retain one of the two, and I'm pretty sure that is going to be Ishan Kishan and not Surya.
Prathamesh,
And
Mumbai, I think, to all their credit, to all the fantastic work that they've done in building such a fabulous team, I think now is when they are going to face an issue when they have to keep only like,
they
matlab,
will, yeah, they
it's
have to
like
keep three players.
you have 10 good
Yeah,
fingers, you have two eyes, and you'll have to pick at
yeah,
least just three parts. It's something like that. It is literally like that. And you
yeah.
take anything
I
from it,
don't think
you
there's
take away something else.
I don't think there's a
It's
lot
going to
of
be quite
debate
a
in who's
breakage.
going to be kept. Yeah, it's going to be a
Yeah,
lot of
it
breakage,
is going
which
to be.
you're right. I think in that sense, Mumbai will definitely keep Hardik, Bumrah, and Rohit. And because they don't keep a foreign player, they get an
I think
option
that's
of
the
retaining.
key.
Yeah, they get an
Yeah.
option of
Any
keeping a capped
whoever
Indian player.
because they will have to go for a foreign player. Any idea who could be that?
Foreign player, I think,
They
considering the
definitely have
profile that
to.
Mumbai Indians, considering the
I
profile
mean,
that
they can
MI
use
have
it
built over
and
the
all that.
years, they can use. And I think if there is a possibility, they might use an RTM on probably James Neesham. I think that's one player they will definitely use an RTM on if they get it next time. Or Pollard. I think either one of those two. I don't think there's any other players going to be used. Or maybe Trent Bolt. It's very difficult. Probably Bolt and Bumrah are a difficult bowling combination as well. But the price is also important. So yeah, but I mean, we'll
Yeah.
decide about the IPL after a year probably. But I think you're right. I think one of Surya or Ishan becomes a captain for some IPL franchise, which is more likely to be Surya because I don't think MI is letting go of Ishan after all of this. They will use an RTM no matter what happens.
But I think it's going to be difficult to keep him, isn't it? Like now that they have been
Yeah,
capped, now they're capped. So it
yeah,
potentially,
yeah,
I think it is three capped cricketers, one at least one international cricketer or one uncapped cricketer. So if it is three capped
yeah,
cricketers, I don't think Mumbai Indians even have the
yeah,
option of not considering Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah, and Rohit Sharma. I don't think that is an option. So
yeah. They
I
don't
think
have the option.
Ishan Kishan is definitely coming into the auction. Surya Kumar Yadav is definitely coming into the auction, and I definitely
Yeah,
know if these two players come in one by one, that one segment will take at least 30-40 minutes because that's quite a
yeah,
blockbuster package of cricketers in the auction. Ugh,
yeah,
let's see what happens. I mean, there is plenty of time for that, and that's potentially going to happen next year. But Shashank says sorry, we've taken this. Crickbuzz has mentioned that Jadeja will continue to remain in the sidelines for a little more time due to fitness issues. Okay, fine.
yeah,
Sehwag, a wicketkeeper batsman from Jharkhand, promoted by team at top and perform well, not for the first time. Yes, uh, obviously a lot of parallels being drawn between of those two cricketers from Jharkhand, but I think they're quite different with their approach. I feel Ishan Kishan is a lot more orthodox in that sense.
yeah.
Mahendra Singh Dhoni played cricket in his own way. So let's see. Nathan is a true fan. Uh, Mera bhai RR Army. Prathamesh, if you could just take this the
Yeah.
next few comments, there is something I have to attend to.
Oh, okay. Maybe the internet is finally acting up. But yeah, Shashank does say that you're his brother Nathan, basically the RR Army. I don't know how you guys are gonna meet together and join an RR screening. I hope you guys do that because Shashank and you would be a fantastic fan army to for RR. Amit adds Anurag as an internal connection is a match made in hell. It pretty much is sometimes. To be honest, it's been the case for everyone. So as Anurag said before, the day we become a proper media house, we will actually not be facing these problems anymore. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Navjeevan says Nathan be like, हाँ भाई और एक दिन करवा लो इंडिया की वाह भाई. Basically, what he says is you can make me talk about about India for one more day, but I'm gonna have my revenge back when you guys actually lose tomorrow. Is what Navjeevan is trying to quote in Nathan's name. So I'm pretty sure Nathan's like literally waiting for that moment when wickets start tumbling tomorrow again, and everything is just going haywire for India. But yeah, he means it all good faith. Uh, Masoom adds, Karigbas has mentioned that currently Shaw, Devdutt, Navagaswala, and Shivam Sharma won't be considered because there is already depth in the squad until and unless any last moment decision to rest someone. Okay, I think that's fair enough.
Okay,
Masoom
thank you.
also
We are,
add,
uh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So over back to you, Anurag.
Sorry about that.
Can
Just
you
a
hear me?
small call I had to attend to. Masoom says Javagal Srinath of the ICC elite panel of match referees imposed the sanction. Yes, we talked about that. 1 hour slow, as Navjeevan confirms what Rohan said a couple of minutes ago. We've taken Ahil's comment. ICC needs to look on slow overs in ODIs too, man. 3.5 hours an innings and go on for 4 hours. I think I think Navjeevan, I think that is one of the basic things. I think, as I said, the way it happens in Test cricket, that teams do get a
Yeah.
15-minute extra period. I think there is something along the lines of 15 to 20 minutes like that in the ODIs. So let's see. KL
No,
Hum,
he's saying कल हम शादी गए थे. He went
can
to
I
a
not
wedding
read?
yesterday. Yeah,
Acha,
he
oh,
went to a
sorry.
wedding yesterday is what he means.
Very sorry, Ahil. Okay, thank you so much, Ahil, for that update on KL.
I don't remember what I
Nathan being
said.
savage. Yes, Nathan is quite savage. Even I don't remember. Yeah, exactly. KL mein
No,
sister
no,
ka
no.
wedding
He's
tha.
saying that
Acha.
he went to a wedding yesterday. It was his sister's wedding, is what he means. Congratulations to your sister Denahil on getting married.
Congratulations, but yeah, I'm totally,
Anurag is
I'm totally.
Anurag is
confused what's
pondering.
going
He's
on.
not he's not understanding what's going on. He's not able to read the
So
context. But
in
okay.
a sense, Nathan and I can share this. little bit of commonality here because even I'm not really understanding what's happening in that comments. UP एक franchise आएगा or maybe Guwahati which will represent the whole of Northeast. The idea of I think North bringing in Northeast, I think that would be good. That would be great, in fact. But I think Shashank, if you have to really play the priority game, I think UP takes precedence over here because I think I mean, I don't want to say they deserve it more or something like that, but I think Uttar
Yeah,
Pradesh especially has been long overdue. So let's see. I think that is good. They are going to come, and now that they've also reached the
I end of
yeah
end of my day. See you soon when my Wi-Fi finally
yeah
Rohan.
gets
yeah Rohan,
sorted.
thank you, thank you.
Rohan's internet is a very curious case, isn't it? Like
Yeah, it's
it's
all right.
as short as
Thank you,
as
Rohan, for joining. It's all right. Yeah,
Nathan is as short
I
as
think he's
Bairstow's
gone.
batting in the Test matches.
Yeah, Nathan, this is a beautiful comment from Pat Cummins. Big money doesn't mean more swing or greener wickets. Pat Cummins on the pressure in IPL. I mean, obviously he had that multi-millionaire contract, which obviously couldn't. I mean, there was no great return from that regard. I'm hearing rumors Virat Kohli is 2 feet wider than anyone else. Yeah, I mean, there were. I know in a sense that it sounded odd, but in the press conference yesterday, Virat Kohli said that he had a conversation with AB de Villiers about his batting, and AB de Villiers said something as simple as just was the ball made. I think yeah, people have made a lot of fun about it, but especially when you're maybe in a tricky phase, in a phase where you're not getting a lot of runs, I think people do tend to forget the simplest of things, and I think maybe that
Yeah,
it did work out. Who knows? I mean, they are elite men in that regard. MI तो मुंबई बुमराह हार्दिक रोहित रिटेन करेगी pretty obvious and Pollard RTM 100%. Uh, yes, I mean that seems like the order of events which without doubt will happen just in case. I mean, also just to confirm, this is still as much as I can confirm or vouch for it. I think the 10 franchise thing has not been confirmed yet. It will be very soon. Jason Roy. Unfortunately, bowler picked me out. Sundar was the guy I was looking to target. Unfortunately, it did not go my way. It was a slow and tough pitch. They made light work of it. I mean, okay, I think that does make a lot of sense, but chalo. Yesterday, India went from 50 for 1 to 75 for 1 between 6 to 8 overs, forcing England to bring his best bowler, Archer, back for his third over. Hope they sustain this approach. Post power play isn't for slowdown. Yes, I think very valid point there. Uh, but also, Amit, I think what we've always lacked in recent years is a cricketer like Ishan Kishan or a cricketer like David Warner or a cricketer like Jason Royce or the Joss Butlers who can accelerate, who can play their shots, who can back themselves regardless of what kind of field restrictions are there, regardless of what kind of situation they are playing in. I think that is where we've lacked. We've always had temperamental guys. We've had even Rohit Sharma to that matter. He is quite temperamental.
yeah,
He is not going to just go for it. He's quite a watchful batsman. Even I know he can
yeah,
once he starts accelerating, he's as good as anyone in that particular notion. But even he takes his time. I don't think
yeah,
Nisham यार last year 50 lakh and this year 50 lakh और उससे पहले unsold so no performance मतलब retain like uh, I think in a sense I would where I would agree with Shashank and Jimmy Neesham here is that I think Jimmy Neesham, Colin de Grandhomme, Scott Styris for that matter. I think these are cricketers who can perform well in in very few conditions. I mean, Neesham is a good bowler,
yeah,
no doubt about it. But I think the slowness on Indian pitches and the pace at which he bowls, I don't think it's really going to help him. And on a flat
yeah,
Wankhede track, you really don't want to trust Jimmy Neesham with 4 overs. I mean, that can be quite
yeah.
brutal.
That's difficult.
Something as bad as 50.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's going to be as bad as
Anurag,
50 to
just
60 runs in the 4 overs.
one One question to
Yeah.
Nathan based on the previous comment. He did talk about Jofra Archer coming in early, probably within the 10 overs to bowl his third over. And this is probably a situation that England might have to face in the upcoming games, probably in the T20 World Cup. Considering, I mean, Mark Wood would be back, but I think regardless, they might have to use Archer if the opening partnership or if one of the top four, top three batsmen actually end up going for a lot of end up scoring a lot of runs. So Nathan, what do England look at then? Because if they have to use Archer early on to try to take that wickets, how does that totally affect your death overs planning, and then how do you deal with it as a bowling unit?
Well, to be honest, I don't think it's that bad in our death bowling. If we go off the team of yesterday rather than Mark Woodin, if you have a look at someone like a Tom Curran, he figures in the first 10 overs to his back 10 are a lot different. He's a lot better in the back 10. And obviously,
Yeah.
we've got Chris Jordan, who's the same. So that's not the end of the world if Archer only gets one at the end. But
Okay.
it does say, for me, Mark was the second hardest one to replace in the team because
Yeah.
we've got our opening bowlers, we've got our death bowlers, but we don't seem to have someone that can bowl those four with a deal in the middle. And so Kishan got hold of a deal yesterday till he got out. So
Yeah.
we really were thin boned in the middle. I think it's more of a worry in the middle than at the
Yeah.
end. But like you guys made yesterday, you made it so easy that by the end, there's nothing to bowl at. When you're
Yeah.
chasing 4 runs and over and 6 overs left or whatever it was, there's no point for your death bowlers. So it's just who can we get in the squad for middle overs? Maybe if we say Mark Wood's out injured, or when he's out injured, we look at someone like a Moen Ali.
Yeah.
He's not too bad in the power play, and he can be quite pretty good economically. I can't even say the word now. His economy is not. I say it slightly differently. His economy is not too bad for a
Yep.
T20. So I
Yeah.
think we'll change our lineup slightly if Mark Wood's not available, and save Jofra a little bit later if we possibly can. If you're 120 for none after 8, that's another scenario. But in a
Yeah.
case like yesterday, I'd hope we've got another 15, 20 runs on the board to play with beforehand. So
Yeah.
again, without changing the topic, it would lead to depends on our batting at the time.
Yeah, so you basically probably
Yeah,
would
I
still
mean,
trust the likes of Jordan and Currans and probably even Wood to be good, be the same bowlers and be effective in the death overs as well, I guess.
Yeah, we've got enough at the end to convenient that. It's just we just don't have enough in the middle. And you probably try and, like we did yesterday, and obviously did not pay off, try and chuck Stokes and over because he's a game changer and type of bowler. So he might go for 15 like he did yesterday or 17, whatever it was. But there's a good chance he could get a wicket as well and just break that partnership.
Yeah, that would make sense too.
makes sense. Yeah, so moving on with our comments, Mumbai, Ishan or Sky, yeah, जाने देगी. Yes, Mumbai will scout new players जो उनका forte है. Yes, I think see, I think irrelevant of how hard a team can work, it is really, really difficult to assemble a set of players that Mumbai Indians did in the last season, the recently concluded season,
Yeah,
and the team which is going to appear again in the 2021 season. I think that's still, even despite all their best efforts, I think that's quite a rarity that you have 8 to 9 match winners inside like one team packed who can win games like
yeah,
literally on their. That was quite. I think that really makes a strong case to be the greatest T20 side that has ever been that anyone has ever seen. It was that good. So I think that is going to be difficult to replicate. I think that, I mean, obviously Mumbai Indians, they can do it because they're scouting. I mean, they've scouted someone like a Jasprit Bumrah out of nowhere. So you never know. List of Indian T20 Indians with T20 Man of the Series awards after 2016: Bumrah, Unadkat, Krunal, Chahar, Bhuvi, Chahal, Barinder Shran, Virat Kohli. I think Chahal
Barinder
into
Sahani.
that's what he's tries to say. Kuldeep,
Okay.
Hardik Pandya, Rohit, Navdeep Saini, Sundar, KL Rahul. Uh, Amit, I don't know. मतलब भाई कुछ स्पेस यूज करने में थोड़ा तकलीफ होता है क्या? मतलब थोड़ा स्पेस दे दो भाई. तकलीफ होता है पढ़ने में. Uh, for how many of these players do you remember that in which series they got the award? That's tough. That's a tough one. I mean,
That's
the
tough. Yeah,
2016 after 2016 World Cup, if you're talking about, I think Bumrah, we are talking about the Australia series. I think so.
yeah.
I don't know. I think honestly, I think I
That's
can't
tough.
even give it a try.
That's tough.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, it's quite tough. Sarah Taylor appointed as a wicket-keeping coach of Sex. Yeah, I mean, plenty of Sarah Taylor admirers in this on the TSD panel. So kudos and all the best to her. Ishan ko live आहिल ईशान को लाइव देख नहीं पाया, शादी में बिजी था। वारे वाह या ब्रो। भैया अपना इंस्टा आईडी क्या है ब्रो? आई थिंक यू कैन जस्ट क्लिक अनुराग Pisara. You can, I mean, the only thing you have to get right is my spelling, and you'll find me, and you can find Prathamesh, you can find Kushagra,
Yeah,
and all our TSD
yeah.
panelists. So
My
I
Insta
don't,
ID
we
is
are
in
not.
fact on my name.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think we are really difficult people to get hold of or find on Instagram. You'll find them quite. You will find us quite easily. Just type our names. How are you? How are you say that Prathamesh Besto lasted less than Rohan's internet? I mean, uh, I think today I saw some very interesting comment from Ian Chappell. Ian Chappell said, I think he basically, in a sense, was taking a dig at the rotation policy and also said this. Uh, I can't really remember, but he said like he Bairstow got accustomed to the conditions in Sri Lanka. Then he was sent back to the cold and rainy conditions
Yeah.
back in England, and then once he comes back, obviously he has more ducks than an English aristocrat going for hunting, something like that. He said something like that. God,
Yeah.
that's what Ian Chappell said.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's quite. I mean, I can't really comment on the aristocrats going for hunting thing because my knowledge of that is quite poor. But yeah, I mean, he was really really poor. Last three T20 has to be played behind closed doors due to rise in COVID cases. I mean, this was. I don't want to say this, but this was in a way coming. Uh, 10
Yeah.
franchise का confirm IPL website पे भी अपना I don't think so, Shashank. I mean, the moment I saw this comment pop up on my right hand side, I think I did go up and check on the IPL website. I don't think it is there. It will be soon.
Noted.
It will come out very soon. Reminder, yeah, I think we've taken this milestone. Thank you so much. Fact, Mohammad Hafiz has faced 47 no balls in international and has hit 43 for sixes. Oh, that's nice.
Good
That's good.
work.
We need
Yeah.
T20.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed, isn't it? Like, uh, I personally felt free hit is one of the most difficult deliveries to hit because I know there is
Difficult
no pressure
ones.
on you,
Yeah.
but it's also there is this internal pressure inside you, just telling you have to hit this for a six or for a boundary. That's
Anurag,
good stuff.
actually, for a
Good
free
stuff.
hit, you have more pressure. You have more pressure to hit the ball in the crowd, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it's like penalties in a
Yeah.
football match, isn't it? Like everyone expects you to score a penalty, but I think if you think about it the other way when you're taking it, that's the most one of the most difficult things to do. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Amit says we need T20 players like Ishan, Pant, and Sky, Joe, who can start their innings in the fifth gear more often than not. Uh, we
Yeah.
need them definitely. I think. I'll tell you, it's either a mole or a hill for the Indians. I think that's where we've we've not maintained decent enough balance. Uh, we need players like Rohit Sharma or I don't think Virat Kohli is a fifth gear kind of a player. He's more of like a third, fourth, and sometimes very rarely gets into that fifth gear, like we saw in at the Wankhede last year. Not last year, I think it is 2019 against. Was it against South Africa? Was it against Australia? Well, okay, fine. I can't really remember, but yeah, Virat Kohli can come into that gear rarely, but it's just about maintaining balance. I think Ishan Kishan provides that. ODIs
Yeah.
to be played behind closed doors. Okay, that we've got that. अरे भाई मैंने ईशान किशन का pouring bat ही देखा था. Yeah, obviously, Ahil, I think we can assume that. Sorry, the current T20I series, Shashank corrects. Okay.
Yeah.
Prathamesh, the ODIs are still in Pune, right?
The ODIs are in Pune, and if I don't think the Maharashtra government is in any situation to allow the fans to go into the stadium because things as it is are very bad
Yeah.
in Maharashtra. So that is anyway going to be
Maharashtra.
behind closed
Yep.
doors.
So okay, Morgan is set to become the first England player and fourth overall to play 100 T20I matches. Most T20I appearances. There's Shoaib Malik with 116. Obviously, he's been there perpetually. Rohit Sharma 108, Ross Taylor 102, and Morgan, Guptill, Hafiz, Afridi. All of these people on 99. That's fantastic.
99.
I mean, Owen
Yeah.
Morgan is definitely a white ball legend already. So that's just another feather to his cap. Question for Nathan: how about using guy like Ollie Stone in T20Is as a backup forward because Tom Curran seems like cannon fodder for batters. I mean, what do you reckon? Do you think Ollie Stone has played enough of the shorter format cricket, Nathan?
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen him play much in the short format, but on the principle of how he
Yeah.
bowled in the test, doesn't sound a bad option to me to have him as a backup. I'll look into
Yeah,
it and I'll answer it tomorrow for you or when I'm next on.
yeah. This is actually,
Yeah.
Anurag. This is a
Yeah.
question for
I
Nick
mean,
Knight.
one thing,
This is a question for Nick
yeah,
Knight.
in a sense, I think, yeah, Nick Knight seemed to have covered Ollie Stone's bowling in the
Well,
most
I've just had a look
analytical way
on cricket.
possible. Yeah.
Just had a look on cricket info. He's in the blast. He's played 51 games, and his economy is 8.89 at an average of 29, and
Oh,
that's in the big bash. So I'd say that's
okay.
slightly a bit too
I mean,
high.
that's high. Yeah, that's definitely high. I mean, the average still seems like okay. It still seems fine, but I think the economy,
Yeah, it's the economy.
you
Yeah,
you, you never know. But maybe it can improve because Ollie Stone has that X factor, which not a lot of fast bowlers are blessed with, which is that extra bit of pace. Which I mean, he can bowl in the high 140s. So you never know. Maybe in the future, Amit, I don't think as it stands, he's still very well prepared for this format. Bhavani Devi will become the first fencer who will represent India in the Olympics as she has made a rebate. Yes, we've heard this news. I think I just watched it while I was
yeah.
scrolling.
It came today. Yeah,
Congratulations, Bhavani Devi. It's a great news for Indian sports in general. I think a lot of people are really looking forward to Tokyo 2021. So all the best to her. Rohit and Kishan to open for me. Ryan is back in the comments and he says Rohit and Kishan to open for me. Yes, I think that is going to be quite the opening pair for us. Ryan, thank you so much for joining. Rishabh Pant playing reverse swats against 140 kilometers deliveries is outrageous, says former Sri Lankan seamer Faviz Maharoof. Yeah, was quite a good all rounder back in the day. And Faviz Maharoof, it's been a long time since we've even heard his name.
yeah,
Uh, the
yeah.
final T20s between India and England will be played behind closed doors. Yes, we've got this. I'm absolutely loving youngsters like Rishabh Pant playing innovative shots. It's not only T20 cricket but also in Tests, says Tilkaratna Dilshan.
Yeah,
James Mahon is back
yeah.
in Heather's brother. Heather says hi. Okay, I don't know. I'm sorry. Uh,
That's a spam.
that's totally out of context for me. Anurag, if you copy paste comments from some other place, it's gonna happen that way.
Yeah,
Okay. Anurag is very difficult to reach. What are they talking about? Okay, fine.
uh,
I think maybe it's
yeah,
about the rate at which I'm reading some of the comments. अरे भाई मतलब कुछ कभी कभी ना थोड़ा हो जाता है. It's fine. Sorry,
yeah,
no disrespect to any of you guys. It's just that I find it difficult sometimes to uh, just pronounce the words that are written. Bad in Maharashtra, and most cases are in Pune and Amravati. Yes, Varun. Obviously, even Mumbai is no sledge in that. I think. Let's see.
yeah.
I feel Pant might be rested and RS Rohit Sharma. Yes, Rohit Sharma comes for him. Okay, that's an interesting perspective. Ishan will keep
That's
and come at
interesting.
four.
Yeah,
No, not Ishan.
Are you
Don't. I
criticising
mean, the
our
guy just came in.
rotation policy?
I don't think India has a rotation policy. Definitely not an official one. Because when
yeah,
Rohit Sharma was dropped, it came as surprisingly to England as well. I mean, at least if there is a rotation policy, I don't know. I mean, there is no necessity on their behalf to keep us in the loop as keep Indian well. But I really don't think there is something like that. But if you think about it, maybe Rishabh Pant has played a lot of cricket in the last since Australia started. So I think maybe it might not be a totally bad thing. Next three, yes, Pavan, we've got that news. Daniel Alexander must be crying. Sri Lanka legend praised Indian youngsters. Okay, I mean, we're not even getting there. Nathan is Livingston going to play in the third T20. Is he in the squad?
he is. He
He's in the
is.
squad, but we won't play
Yeah.
unless there's an injury that I
All
don't
right.
know about.
Anurag, all right. Anurag, how about giving Rahul Chahar a go for a couple of matches? Yes, I would personally love that. I mean, at the expense of Yuzvendra Chahal right now, yes, definitely. Because uh, one thing Yuzvendra Chahal, maybe he's a fabulous bowler, obviously, but I think there comes a point in a cricketer's life when he definitely needs a little bit of a break from the game.
Yeah.
So maybe keeping Yuzvendra Chahal aside for a few games won't be that bad a thing. Uh, I was talking about when you guys were asking. Yeah. I got that, Masu. अरे भाई मतलब I understand you're lazy to you I mean everyone is lazy in our own way but भाई पढ़ने में थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है I was just acknowledging that no no disrespect or no harsh feelings. Varun, why bring Daniel in such a good discussion? Yes, man. Uh, I feel Jason Roy and Johnny Bairstow are the most lethal openers in white ball cricket. Butler should open should either bat at four or should send back to pinch hitting role. Uh, do you agree with this, Nathan?
No. Personally, I always think your best batsman has to open, and Butler's our best batsman. I get the
Yeah.
partnership of Roy and Bairstow was pretty good, but because the game's a lot shorter, you need to send your best batsman to open, and that's why Butler is opening. Although if he gets a couple more ducks, I might send him back down.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I mean, yeah, Prathamesh, you say something.
Yeah, I think you're right in that case. I mean, with Josh Butler, we've seen even in the IPL over the years that he's done a lot of destruction opening the batting for Rajasthan, for Mumbai Indians as well. So I think it's only fair that probably he plays opening the batting. Plus, he has got a lot of variety. He's got good. He's got, I think, the good orthodox shots as well. He's very good at that, especially in the power play when you know there are field restrictions, a lot of open spaces. I think that is where Butler can capitalize even better than Bairstow. I think that's probably one of the reasons why Roy and Butler are being signed. And then Bairstow is pretty good, even probably in the middle overs. I think he's someone who's very aggressive and he's good of I think either side of the wicket as well. So I think Bairstow can add to that element during the middle overs, while Butler goes hell for leather when it is open. The field restrictions are open, so I think that creates a better balance for England overall.
Prathamesh, just adding to that, Johnny Bairstow's breakthrough season in international cricket when he was scoring, I think when he scored over 1,000 runs in a particular season, I think that was 2013, 14 or 14, 15, I can't really remember. That very season, the reason he batted at number five, number six. Hey,
Yeah, yeah. We can hear you.
somebody apparently muted me. Okay, sorry. So I mean, he made his name while coming up. He made his name while as a middle order batsman, and Josh Butler too. In the initial runs that he scored in international cricket, all of this came while batting in the middle order. So I think that's where England is quite lucky that they have two batsmen like who are versatile enough to open and at the same time bat in the middle order as well. So I don't think they are as worried as we are at this point. Just a few more anecdotes to add. I mean, whenever you are in March, April, there is this one thing that keeps running around, which is like a lot of throwbacks, because there is this. I mean, around about this is when you have a lot of World Cup cricket happening. You have a lot of obviously the first ever Test match that was ever played. It happened on this very day. So I mean, it happened on this very day. So I think it was back in 1877, 144 years of Test cricket and 144 years of international cricket in general. Back when Test cricket was basically, the way we keep it, England versus Australia, India versus Australia, there was nothing like that. So it was just written Test cricket, and people would assume it was England versus Australia. So it all started that way, and how much things have changed over the years, and how much the game has developed, how much variety it offers 144 years down the line. It's just fantastic. Kudos. And also today marks the 20th anniversary of India's one of the greatest wins of all time that happened at the Eden Gardens
Yeah,
when out of, as Tony Grigg mentioned in his commentary, that was the 1535th Test match that took place, and that was only the third time that a team came back to win after follow-on was enforced on them. So I mean, that one day, I think that was March 14th, when the entire day was battered out by VVS Lakshman and Rahul Dravid. And on this very day, Harbhajan sort of provided the winning moment, and Sachin Tendulkar picked up 3 wickets. Quite a story that
Yeah,
was. We sort of made a throwback video on the Sports Drawing. If it'd be great if you guys can go and look at that. I think we've just
yeah,
added bits of the great Tony Gregg's commentary in that. I think all of you might enjoy that. Uh,
yeah,
Siddharth is in the comments. He says, "Can't hear you guys with 5 trophies in hand." Yes, I mean it's high time for Mumbai. The only
yeah.
equivalent that I can think of was when Chennai Super Kings. I think when they won IPL. I think was it
2011.
2011. I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah,
That was the time. I think they also won the Ranji Trophy. I mean, there weren't these many competitions, obviously, but I think almost every
yeah,
competition that existed, I think Chennai won it. But obviously, Mumbai triumphs this one. There's ISL, there's Vijay Hazare. There's a lot going on. Nevertheless, I think we've discussed quite plenty of just a few more comments, and we'll just take the final few comments for today. I mean, from Nathan and Prathamesh. We were expecting Kushagra to join, but I think he's had a little bit of a busy day. Uh, Forking weed. I mean, that's quite a yeah. Well,
that's an
I
interesting
didn't want
name.
to spell it. Yeah, I know how it is supposed to be pronounced, but I'm not going to do it
Yeah,
that way. What is Nathan's prediction? I mean, that's quite a we- weird,
4-1 England.
vague question, Mr. Weed. I really never thought I'd say Mr. Weed in my entire life. But if you could just elaborate what prediction you're guessing for, maybe I think Masu Match, there is a 200 words limit is the answer. Acha, fine, man. Thank you. चलो जाने दो अभी. प्रथमेश हर आईपीएल के बाद में एमआई लाएगा. I mean, yes, man. I mean, right now I think
yeah.
it has
Butler
definitely
opened
got
for
it.
MI.
We
What
when
can
we
I
talk
do?
about yeah. Dhawan fans on Twitter, we condemn this act of Morgan to bowl Tom Curran versus Ishan, and Mark Wood at Dhawan in the first T20. Yeah, this is absolutely spot on. Oh god, I think Ishan Kishan would have had a better challenge facing Mark Wood than facing Tom. I think Ishan Kishan just took Tom Curran to the cleaners. It's like when you're
Yeah,
playing the backyard or gully cricket, there comes that one kid who just
yeah,
with great difficulty comes out and rolls his arm, where you can
yeah.
literally take a nap and then come back and hit the ball for a six. It really seemed like that. He was absolutely
Anurag, do you remember
bullying him,
in
and
this
I really don't use like using that word.
in
True,
this
am I
I
fan?
was
Yes. Yeah.
in this edition of the IPL as well, there was this match Mumbai versus Delhi at Dubai, and Mumbai had to chase around like 110, 120, and Ishan Kishan made a mockery of Rabada and Nokia on that day, and both of them were bowling 145 plus on the day. And those short balls, full length, nothing just mattered to him. He just screamed everything out of the park. So I think he's done that before. Obviously, I think even if Mark Wood was there, I don't think the result would have been much different. Probably maybe
You
might have
never
scored
know.
10,
Yeah.
15 runs more because he likes pace on the ball. That's the thing with Ishan Kishan. He likes the pace on the ball. So I think in a way,
Okay. I
it was
mean,
fair that Tom Curran
that's quite
bowled.
all right. Nathan, we have like quite an academic question here. Like, what's Nathan's view on cold
Move
effect
on,
on
move on.
cricket? Are you gonna submit a thesis on this?
I'll give you
I'm
the
sorry.
context of this later, mate. Ignore the
Oh, all right,
question.
all
I'll
right.
tell you later.
Nathan and his friends, they bring in these absolutely great contextual stuff to the comments, but unfortunately, Nathan reveals only a little bit. But I'm sure they must be very interesting, and I'll definitely, to our viewers, at least the 10 of them who are watching, trust me, Nathan doesn't reveal a lot to us as well. We'll if we get to know something, we'll definitely tell it to you. I mean, that's
Yeah.
not a great way of bringing out truth, but yeah. Pratmesh, Mumbai Mafia supporter, AKM. Yes, he is.
Not a supporter of
I mean,
Mafia.
we
Come
all are in a
on.
sense. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, top four IPL कौन होगा? Pratmesh, Nathan, Anurag. Yeah, we'll get there. I think there is a lot of
Yeah.
time for that. Can't hear you
Rajasthan.
guys with fire. Yes, we've taken. Yes, Nathan.
No, just saying top four. I'll have my Rajasthan in there.
He doesn't care about any other franchise. It's just about Rajasthan Royals.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
telling you,
yes. We
Anurag.
get that. I
I'm
want
telling
to
you,
see.
if in the next mega
I want to
auction,
see that Rajasthan royalty the day Ben Stokes, Josh Butler, and all of these
yes,
people are not no longer a part
yes,
of it.
I'm telling you, the next time in the mega auction, if at least three of them end up at any team in the IPL, I'm pretty sure Nathan's getting that. And to be fair, he doesn't have to support Rajasthan Royals. He's supporting his Englishmen, which is totally fair. If this was the case in the 100 or in the T20 bash in England, I'm pretty sure that even we would have done the same. Like
What's the name of the team again? Manchester, Real Manchester. What is that?
Manchester
Originals.
Originals. Manchester Originals. I don't think I'm
Oh
supporting
God,
Manchester
it beats me
Originals,
every
to be
time I hear it.
honest.
Definitely not. Talk about originals. That says all hail Dravia and Lexington on Eden Gardens anniversary.
Yes.
Also, that Huvraj Singh, he took a hat trick and also picked up 13 wickets. Not to forget, uh, there was a
And
good
Tendulkar
contribution
also took three
from
wickets.
the captain Gangli as well.
Yeah.
I don't think Nathan, are you getting the context of Dravia and Lexington? Do you remember that game, the EA Sports cricket game that we used to have?
To which game?
EA Sports Cricket 07.
EA Sports, basically the same EA Sports who made the FIFA game. They made a cricket game. Like there only one version was popular, which was the Cricket 07. England and Australia and South Africa, I think, and even New Zealand. All of them, they gave permissions to use the names of their cricketers, but Indian BCCI did not permit EA Sports to use their
Uh-huh.
names, so they had to change names. So Dravid became
Yeah.
Dravia. Lexington is basically VVS Lakshman,
Lakshman.
and Tendeher was Tendulkar and stuff like that. Uh,
Dhoni
that's
was
what he's
Dhaniar,
referring
wasn't
to
he?
here.
Dhoni was
Denier,
Dhaniar. That's
Denier.
a very funny name.
I mean that the best part about that entire game was Mark Nicholas and Richie
Yes.
Benaud commentating together. And
Yes.
I think I still have it on my laptop and just sometimes to listen to
Yeah.
those both absolute genius commentators. Sometimes only for
Yeah.
that I
Al-
just tune into it.
Also,
It's
also
just
for
so
the
beautiful.
umpire, Anurag. Also for the
Yeah, the umpire who
umpire,
looks like our
now. Yes.
yeah,
Yes. And also
yeah,
for
who
Glenn
looks like
McGrath's celebration, where he used to wave like this. Glenn McGrath used to wave a wicket like this. I really found it really
yeah.
funny.
Uh, there were a lot of weird things about the game, like uh, when they used to collect the ball and dislodge bails,
Yes.
for a run out or something. They used to appeal in the wrong side. I mean, they used to appeal towards
Yes.
the third umpire. It was all funny, but it was great.
Yes. Yes.
Why Tom Curran has impersonated his Dales, we don't know. Viraj, I mean, that was quite funny. I mean, I really don't think it really suit him, but let's see. Seven teams to compete with MI for top four. Yes. Okay, I think
Yeah.
seven teams would compete to play MI in the final. I think they've taken that
Yeah.
CSK, the definition
Yeah.
which CSK had
Anurag,
for them. So I
just
think
to
MI
reiterate
have
that,
taken it for this.
just to re, just to
Yeah,
reiterate it in a better way, 17 is competing to lose to MI in the final. That's how it is.
not yet, not yet. I mean, yes, I think they've been dominant enough, but not yet. I would say it has to happen over a longer period of time for that to be more relevant and more strong on your case. But I get it. Ishan Pant UV batting will need four fielders at mid wicket and five on square leg. Yes, I mean they are quite onside heavy cricketers. They have that strong bottom hand, so you can't really have. But I think all of them they can hit sixes on the other side as well. I mean they have the talent, but
Yes.
that's quite lovely what you've put it there. Reggae miss Huvraj Singh and Guguli. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was actually forgetting what was Ganguly's name. Thank you so much, Shashank.
Yeah.
Nathan should be supporting his captain too. Okay, Irish captain, but still, I think he does support. I mean, where is this coming from?
It means because I support
Okay,
Rajasthan.
Yeah.
all right, all
Maybe
right.
he's talking about
He
KKR. Maybe
who
he's talking about KKR.
Morgan plays for
Irish
KKR.
captain.
Like, come on.
Yes, yes, yes.
For a second, I couldn't even remember who Morgan plays for KKR. I mean, it's fine. Morgan has really not made his name in the IPL. Josh Butler did, Jofra Archer did, Ben Stokes definitely did. He has a MVP to his credit. Come on, guys. EA
Yeah.
Sports, yes, EA Sports is pretty great. That's what people are reiterate. I think, especially among the Indian audience, maybe because of those names being I won't say caricatured, but the names being changed that way and all of that. I think people did connect with the game a lot. Excellent bowling from Huvraj to take the five for on in 2001. Bhai, it was 13 wickets in the entire test match, a 7 for in the first innings where he picked up a hat trick. And obviously on the final day, I mean, that was I think one of the great bowling performances by an Indian bowler of all time. I mean, because India had just 73
Yeah,
overs to bundle out the greatest batting lineup of all time, one of the greatest batting lineups of all time. So kudos to the guy. We also had option playing the Ashes in that game. Yes,
yeah, we
Nathan,
did.
we used to have like Ashes scenarios basically. So they used to just put us in the middle of a situation where Michael Clark is batting on 25 and you have to get him to 100, or Kevin Peterson is batting with uh, the tail and you have to get Kevin
Simon
Peterson to his
Jones.
100,
Yeah,
and there were all these. It was beautiful. Yes, with Simon Jones. Yes, it was what a brilliant game. It's a pity FIFA has invested so much time and money into the football game, but not that much into the cricket game because even Harsha Bhogle I think when Richie Beno died in 2013, this is what Harsha Bhogle said, that it is quite a pity that EA Sports didn't go along with the cricket game because apparently they did. Harsha Bhogle himself also recorded uh, for a for an upcoming version, which never really came out. I mean, that would have been fantastic.
oh,
Apparently, he recorded it
yeah.
with Richie Beno and Mark Nicholas. Imagine the holy trinity of commentary.
Imagine,
Huh,
wow, wow, that would have been beautiful.
fabulous. Yeah, yeah. Just to record Butler from May 2020, Mumbai Indians are Manchester United of IPL. Yes, I think at this point, I think that's quite obvious because
Yeah,
they've
but he's talking about the
assembled
Manchester United
just what they've
pre
assembled.
2013. Yeah, pre
Yeah,
2013. That's what he's
13, but
talking.
yes. Dale
Yeah.
Steyn, Ashok Dinda was playing for England. Chalo, man. A quick question. Will Bairstow feature in the starting 11 for SRS this season? How will they balance the overseas slots? Oof, I think that's a tough one. I mean, if I'll tell you something, Navjeevan, if Bairstow is going to feature for a long period of time, it means Kane Williamson will have to sit out. If Kane Williamson sits out for too long, it means next season he will have to be dropped out of the squad. He might want to
Yeah.
go out and play for some other team for a longer period of time or something like that. So it's quite a gamble. I mean, due respect to Bairstow as a fantastic cricketer, but if there really comes a point where we have to lose either Kane Williamson or Johnny Bairstow, even without thinking twice, I would say I would lose Johnny
Yeah.
Bairstow.
Is it?
I
Is
say
Warner
that
not
with
injured?
utmost respect. I'm sorry,
I heard Warner's out
Warner.
for the
Yeah,
whole
yeah, yeah.
series.
We've heard of that. It's not
Well,
confirmed as yet. I apparently there are a lot of apparently that was basically the rumor of him uh, missing out the entire series is not totally right. Apparently he is recovering and is already quite good.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, as long as we don't get an official confirmation from the Sunrisers or from the
It's
IPL
tough.
website, I
Yeah.
don't think we can say that. Siddharth says Nathan, that is just rude. What
He's talking about the
what did Nathan do that was? Yeah.
this one, Anurag. This one, where he says, because they were good but now rubbish, is what Nathan is saying. Probably the minor
All right,
comment.
all right. L- I think I
And to
thought there
that,
was
and,
some context. I was going way far.
yeah, yeah,
SRH Warner Williamson holder Rashid Fix 14 for 14 games. Yeah, honestly, Shashank, I think I wouldn't be surprised if even Mujib gets to play a lot of games. I mean, I really don't think that made a lot of sense, but having Mujib and Rashid in the same 11, that can be quite a tricky 8 overs for any team to bat against. So let's see what happens there. Preston might need 100 centuries to achieve what Manchester United have. All
this
right,
is
man.
just
I don't think
and a Howard Webb.
just people are just going crazy. Also, Howard Webb. Oh God, that's
Oh,
and for the
unlikely
fact
salt.
Kane Williamson was bought for 50. Uh, uh,
Yeah,
this was in the 2017 or 18 auction. I'm sorry,
yeah.
this was the 2016 auction. I
Mm,
mean, it's not the current price that he's getting. Even that is not very great. He gets, I think, 2 crore or something, which is still quite a bargain. Definitely. Dinesh
yeah,
Karthik in
it
100
is.
MB app to T20 World Cup is going to be my primary objective. I mean, yeah, I get that, but let's see. I mean, all the best to Dinesh Karthik. With due respect, I think we have a lot of fans of Dinesh Karthik on our panel, so I don't think we can say much there. We've just announced how much we spent last year. It was 17.9 million. That's about a week worth to United. Yes, I get
Yes,
that.
yes, he's right.
I mean,
Yeah,
any
yeah. I
we
think
don't get. I
Preston.
mean, we got Daniel James for 20 million.
Yeah, we did. That's the thing, right? It's the
Oh
difference
God.
between that's the major difference between why championship clubs want to make these transfer to Premier League clubs, because they earn as much money as they can possibly in a year. So, fair deal,
Yeah.
fair deal to them.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, guys, I think we've gone on for an hour. Just final comments, starting with Nathan. What are your expectations for tomorrow? I think it's become quite a generic question. Unless we find a format for it, we are going to continue with this. What are your expectations for tomorrow?
Win the toss, so call it right. Um, keep you under 160, then chase it down with two and a half overs to spare.
That's
Oh
pretty
God.
precise from Nathan.
All right. Yeah, Pratmesh, up to you. I'm sure both of you are going to have some extreme comments here, but yeah, Nathan has given his side. Pratmesh?
I, I think India chases the victory in the final over tomorrow. I think this is going to be as down as to Hardik and Surya tomorrow. It will be a tough game. I think both teams have had their one-sided victories in a way, if you would like to say that. But now is the time when I think both teams will know what is their lineup and what is the kind of conditions that they're going to come across batting first. And I think there will be more responsible and proactive batting in the first innings by either teams, whoever bats. And whatever happens, I feel the game goes down to the wire tomorrow. I hope it does, because that's the whole interest about T20 cricket. Otherwise, T20 cricket just becomes a session of chuck bowling and batting and hitting it into the crowd. I don't think it has the same excitement than if that doesn't happen. So why not take it to the final over? Not a super over for sure, but just take it to the final over.
Just a quick one
Yep.
though.
I mean, obviously, when you take it,
These
yeah,
pitches, are these pitches what we're going to expect come the World Cup in October time?
No, yeah, I
maybe
don't
not.
think India is going to India, I don't think the Indians are going to give you the pitches right now what you're going to get in the World Cup. I think in the World Cup, you wouldn't be shocked, Nathan, if the pitches spin a lot more than this, because or maybe even some of them have more bounce than this, because I think Indians have the armory either ways to actually make it work for them. I think the pitches will be more bowler friendly because the ball doesn't offer much. So I think Indians will be waiting to do something about that. And I think that's the kind of pitches you will see. Except for, I mean, if the venue is one of the venues is Chennaswamy, I don't think you can change that ever in lifetime. But I think in the other pitches, especially if you go to like places like Delhi or Chennai, or even for that matter, in Hyderabad, I think you could still make pitches that suit the bowlers a little bit. Not in Mumbai, not in Bengaluru. So I think depends on the venue, and certainly not in Motera. This Motera pitch has been worked extremely hard on to make sure that this pitch looks like a batting wicket. But you've seen the Motera pitch in this Mushtaq Ali Trophy as well, and I think in the previous years as well, where it doesn't offer as much of a 180 200 run game to the batsman. So I think you won't be shocked if you see that kind of pitches, 150, 160 pitches.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Just a final few comments, and we'll wrap it up for the day. We pay that much to Phil Jones into yes, Varun. I mean,
I
we
guess,
cannot make all this comparison. Shashank says bye bye. I think it's because of the football discussions. Bye, just fun batter. Yes. Shashank says India हारना चाहिए. मैं चाहता हूँ. I don't know why. Shashank says he wants India to lose tomorrow for God knows what reason. Siddharth says Shashank out. Yes, I think I would agree to that. Morgan mentioned that third match is on a red soil. Might spin a lot. Good news for Indian cricket. Butler 100 loading says Shashank. If it's a
yeah,
let's see. I mean, too much. I don't think any person is going to get to 100. It's going to be incredibly difficult. Nathan says Sharma. yes. Okay, Nathan has already responded to that. 2016 में जैसा pitch था वैसा ही होगा. Yes, remember that the first game was played
yeah,
between India and New Zealand. I think we sort of fell in our own trap where New Zealand defeated us
yeah,
and sort of complicated our job a lot more. So you
yeah.
never know. Motera, he knew when you have bus. Yes. Kohli 100 loading. Bhai, come on. We've been waiting for that for quite a while. I mean, it's getting, I think it's over 500 days now. Let's see. As far as that concerned, the wait continues, but our time is done here. Thank you so much, gentlemen, Prathamesh and Nathan, for joining. Hopefully, we'll have you guys. I think we're going to change our timing for tomorrow. I think I understand that a lot of people would rather watch the broadcast from Star Sports at 6:15 around about that time. So So we'll try and go live tomorrow, maybe around about 5 o'clock or something. We'll get you. I mean, you'll get to know whenever we are live. Please do tune in for the pre-match and post-match discussions. Thank you so much for joining our Cricket Daily Live. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And today we had the opportunity of talking to Mr. Gideon Haig, a fabulous journalist, one of the great writers of all time, uh, a man with some knowledge that I don't think any of us put together can match up to. So it was
Yeah.
quite a fantastic discussion with a great man, and he's such poetry in motion. He speaks in a poetic way as well, and the episode drops out day after because tomorrow I know it's match day and it's going to be difficult to accommodate putting that video on our schedule. So it's going to be coming out day after. So keep watching out for it. Maybe around about afternoon time, 12 or 1. I think that episode will be out. Do check out for that. Uh, Also, a shout out to V Express Sports because Rohan was here for 20 minutes. So we'll have to do that. Even if he doesn't, V Express Sports, it's our cousin. So shout out to V Express Sports. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. We will all see you soon.